Hello there, it's Michelle from C&C Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Zealand, and today I'm going to show you some of the fabulous features of Stampin' Up's new annual catalog. So let's get started. A beautiful catalog here. This is the annual catalog for 2020 to 2021. So on the front it's got our lovely motto, inspire, create, share, and even has some page numbers of areas that you can go to for certain projects. The back of the catalog has some lovely samples similar to the front. It also tells you where you can go for certain items in those projects there. And the most important thing on the back, I'll hold it up here, hopefully you can see that, is the sales period. So this catalog is valid from the 3rd of June 2020 to the 3rd of May 2021. This is the Australian-New Zealand catalog because obviously I live in Australia. So any prices you see in this will be in Australian and New Zealand dollars. So let's have a look inside the catalog. So first thing you find is on the first couple pages you get to see the new in colors. So every year there's 5 new in colors that are introduced, and they're valid for 2 years at a time. So we had some in colors retire on June 2nd, and these are the new in colors starting from June 3rd. So you get to see all those. Then it has some other information here. It's talking about the different suites you can get and what pages they're on, as well as accessories. But throughout the catalog you're going to see some little icons, and so I'm showing you, hopefully you can see that. So you'll see little icon images throughout that mean different things. This little blue one that says 10% off is for selected products that are bundled together. You will save 10% if you buy the bundle. That's 10% savings off of buying the 2 items separately. And then you'll find lots of things that have the red star with the N in it. Those are brand new stamp sets and products that this is the first time you'll be seeing them is in this annual catalog. They would not have been in any previous catalogs. So moving on, we always have our welcome page with lots of lovely photos of the family from the co-founder and board chair Shelley Gardner and her family, as well as our statement of the heart. And then there's an area that explains explains our products and how to do things. So the stamps, there's 2 different types of stamps that Stampin' Up! Produces. There's the cling ones, also known as red rubber. They used to be the type that would go on a wooden backing, but now they have a cling side to them so you can use the clear blocks with them. And then there's the photopolymer, which are the see-through stamps. And so hopefully you can have a look at that. So these ones are clear and they're photopolymer. They go on the blocks as well. So either type of stamp, you pop them onto blocks. The nice thing with the photopolymer is you can see through them, and they're good for easy placement. And then the next part, it actually explains to you different techniques for stamping, and it refers to pages throughout the catalog where you can see samples of that stamping technique. So we've got our 2-step stamping using markers on your pens. This is only for water-based marker like our Stampin' Write markers. Do not use your blend pens to color onto your stamps because the blends will permanently stain your stamp. Technique of stamping off, building patterns, masking, and heat embossing. So if you want to know a bit about that, you can go to those pages and it explains some, or you can ask your demonstrator to show you. The other thing that you find is that the colors, embellishments, inks, stamps, images, etc., papers, all coordinate perfectly. So you can find colors that match together, which is a big feature of buying the products from Stampin' Up. You don't end up having different color blues that don't quite match up. If you're buying them from Stampin' Up, they will match. It talks about the punches and the dies with some samples there. And then moving on, kits. So there's various kits. There's 3 different styles of kits that Stampin' Up! Has. I will be doing a separate video with a close-up look at the kits and explaining the different ones and which type might be best for you. Just pop that down. So there's a few pages of different kits, and then we get into the new products. So we actually have, some products have what we call suites. So this is the Flowers for Every Season suite. And that a suite is something where if you want to get everything that coordinates, that goes together for those items, you simply choose one product number. Let's see if I can show that to you. So you can simply choose the one product number for the entire suite collection, and you'll get all the items that it's shown below there. In this case, it has 2 different stamp bundles. For this one, it's got Memory of More cards, it's got designer series paper, it's got the domes for the mason jars, which goes with the punch. It has ribbon and gems, the little gems, the ribbon, and it even comes with 4 Stampin' Blends. So if you want all those things, instead of ordering each item separately, you can simply put the product code listed on the suite and you'll get all those items for the price shown. That price, if they have bundled items, the bundled items have already had the 10% price taken off of them. So that makes it quite convenient if you want to have it all. And then it shows you lots of beautiful projects and products. Stampin' Up! Also has a recipe PDF file which explains what was used for all the different samples that you'll find in the catalog. And you can get that file from your demonstrator or from the Stampin' Up! Page. I will be listing that on my website as well. Then when you come into the products, here we find there's that N that indicates that this stamp set is new. Other things you'll find is there's another little symbol, hopefully you can see that, and it tells you what they coordinate with. So if you see images in your catalog that are grayed out, like these 5 different images here for this stamp set, right there it tells you that they coordinate with the dies. So there are some of the dies in the sunflower dies that will cut out those images so you don't have to fussy cut them yourself. Other ones on this page, let me flip it over. So again, another new product, Jar of Flowers. Now these images, you see they've got kind of a cream color around them, and if you have a look there, again they coordinate, but this time they coordinate with the jar punch. There's the jar punch there. So those images you could stamp out and then the punch will punch them out. The other thing shown here is the image that says reversible. Well, that means that one side of the stamp, so in this case these 2 here are reversible, you only get one stamp to use, but one side will give you the line art, and if you flip the stamp over and stamp it, you will get a solid image. So you will not get 4 stamps for this, you'll have 2 stamps, that image and this, but you can turn them over, use the reverse side to get a solid image. So if you see the symbol saying reversible, there are some images in there that can be reversed. If you're not familiar with Stampin' Up! Products, the images you see in the catalog are full size. They're 100%. So when you see that flower there, that is the size that you will be stamping, and that is the size of the image. If for some reason they aren't 100%, there will be something written there telling you what percentage they are. So when you do get your products in the book, and in the your stamps, so in this case, you see that image there, you can immediately see it's smaller. So this is the full-size image here, but in your stamp case, it will tell you on there whether the images are not 100%. So if there's nothing there, they're 100%. Otherwise, here it says images at 75%. And it also tells you that it's a 2-step stamp, which means you can stamp one image and then you stamp another. So you would stamp your stems, and then you would stamp your flowers. So that's another thing to help you determine when you're making your choices. Here we've got the 10% symbol showing that if you use this code number here, you will get the stamp set and the punch at that price. So if you want both, use the code number you see with the bundles. You'll also see things throughout the catalog that say shop the project. I'll bring that up closer here. So we've got shop the project, and it's telling you other items that you would need to buy in order to make the project that you're looking at there. So it's showing two different embossing sets, because the background of this card I can see is using the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, and then the center part there is using one of the greenery embossing folders to do that. So if you want to make exactly what you see there, you have the option to shop the project. Before I go any further, you may have noticed there's some colors there. So this is the all occasion, and if you look at the side of the catalog, you can see that there's colored tabs throughout. So there's different colored tabs throughout for different sections of the catalog. So like this one here is accessories and more. So you can quickly look at the side of your catalog and find what section you want to go to. We've got the artistic expression. What's that one there? Is the birthday. And what do we got here? I saw one there. There we go. The kids and babies, love, thanks, and support, and we're at the all occasions. So that's another quick way to find things in your catalog. Now moving on through. So looking at this one, I can tell straight away that it's not a new stamp set, so it has been in the previous catalog. It's carried over to this catalog. Not all items disappear from old catalogs, but some of them do. I can also see that there are some dies looking here that will cut out those images that are grayed out. But then there's also a couple other symbols here. That $1 million symbol means that this stamp set was designed by a demonstrator who met $1 million in sales. So they get lots of benefits, including to design a stamp set to go into the catalog. This that says distinctive, that's certain types of our stamps give you an image stamp that looks almost realistic, so it's called distinctive. So you can see these interesting patterns on the petals and the leaves here. It comes out very realistic looking. So if you see that distinctive image, that's what it means. There's also little white squares throughout that give you a bit more information. Like here it's talking about making combinations. Other things might be tips and ideas for you to use throughout. So let's carry on. I'm just going to show you some of the pages. Again, here I can see by the symbol that it's reversible, so you get that one stamp, but if you turn it over, you can have a solid image. So that's what these solid images here are. They're the reverse of those stamps. Again, there's more tips you can find in the little squares here. And then, so again, here we have a shop the project, so it shows you some of the embellishments you would want to use if you're doing that project, as well as a bundle price. And some of these items have carried over. Again, another distinctive. Here it's talking about the punches and the different punches that were used there and how you could coordinate them. Here, there's a color palette. So some projects will show you a color palette. These are the 5 new in colors for the 2020 to 2022. They will be around, and so it's telling you the colors that were used here. So if you want to make the same project, you can easily find what papers and what inks and what embellishment colors to use to make that project. Again, here on this one, we've got another suite. This is the World of Good suite. There's lots of videos online showing you the projects. and how to do them. I will be doing a video showing a card made with this suite. So if you want everything for this suite, there's one code number here. In New Zealand, it would be $219.50, and you would get all the items that are listed underneath the suite collection. So it would include the bundle, and the papers, and the antique corners and slides, the embossing folder, the ribbon, and even the brass foil sheet to make these items. So here, these colors are the ones that coordinate with the designer series paper that's shown. Now that doesn't mean every piece of paper has those colors. So looking at this one here, I can see that that is Bumblebee and Whisper White, where this one here looks like it's Cinnamon Cider, and I do have this paper, so I know that it's got the brass shining on there. So that just tells you the colors that are available in that entire suite. So if you want to do any coordinating, then you would choose inks or other embellishments that would match up with those colors. Makes it easy for shopping for items. And then let's see, so another new product there, the Game On set, the Campology set. And then we have another distinctive stamp set, so it gives you realistic looking images when you stamp them. This is showing you a little taste of our mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. That's shown further in the catalog. Those machines aren't available straight away. It will be a little while before they're available to purchase, but you can see them in the catalog. So I will be informing people when they are available through my email newsletter, or if you look at any of my pages online, you'll be able to see that. If you want to be on my email newsletter, you can go to my website there. If you don't have a catalog and you want one, ask your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for one, or if you're in New Zealand and do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you can go to my website at michellekritchley.stampinup.net, click on the contact information, contact me, and request a catalog with your mailing address, and I'll send it out to you. Or if you go to my website, find the picture of the front of the catalog on the website. If you click on that, you can go and download a PDF copy of the catalog so you can view it straight away on your computer if you prefer that, or you can do both. So carrying on, we've got the Whiskey Business here, which is a new set along with our Loyal Leaves. Here again we see the color palette for making these projects here. Beautiful autumn colors there. Again, another new set and a peek at the embossing machine. And now I'm going to skip ahead to show you some other features of the catalog. So I'm just trying to find them. Oh, I love this set, this suite. I'm going to get the entire suite because it's so gorgeous. And this is one where the dies will actually cut out some of the images from the designer series paper. So if you have a look here, that's a piece of the designer series paper, and that dog, this die is turned upside down, so if you turn the die the other way around, it will cut that image out. So if you don't like to fussy cut, this is a fabulous die and set to get, because you can actually cut the images straight out. There's also stamped images, which you can see there. They stamped and colored it. So there's stamped images that match the dies, but the dies also match some of the images that you will find on the designer series paper. This suite also comes with the lovely, what's that called? The thread. And it has these cute little trinkets that are little bones and hearts that can be used on the projects as well. So this suite is only $140.50 New Zealand, because it comes with the dies, the stamps, the designer series paper, the trim, and the trinkets. So the prices of the suites vary depending on what you get in them. But if you don't want all the things in there, you just order them individually. And so here it's showing that it cuts out the dies will cut out those images. The dies sets usually have more things they cut out than just a few of the stamps. And you can see the dies further in the catalog. So another Many Mates, and that's the Pampered Pets. Those are new sets there. We've got our pretty parasol that coordinates with the umbrella builder punch that came out in our last mini catalog. Again, some little features that it tells you about in the little squares. Here's one of those pages that tells you how to use a technique. So it's showing you how to you do heat embossing. 2 steps there. So stamp it with your Versamark ink and put the powder on top of the image, and then heat it with the heat tool. So little reminders there how to do different features throughout. And let's just carry on here. I think I might just jump further in the catalog. Oh, and here, that's our Stamparatus. It's showing how to do the hinge step technique. So you choose one of the images you want. So in this case here, they've chosen, I think, 2 images. They've got the floral image there, and this one that looks like it's a different type of flower. And then they're stamping it and moving the plate of the Stamparatus down to stamp it at exactly the same spot. Then they put the other image in, did the same. And then they spritzed this one, they spritzed it with water to create that effect of a bit of a mushy effect there. So that's on page 55 if you want to see how to do the hinge technique. So let's jump ahead a little bit, because if we go through every page it will take all day to get through there. Another new lovely suite we have is Whale of a Time. Lots of beautiful images there, and the paper is just gorgeous. And then so here it's showing how to step it up. So that's just stamped and colored. Then that's added a few layers and some background stamping images, and using the there we go. So that's simple stamping, bit of designer series paper, stamped and colored the picture. Here they've done some background stamping and used one of the punches to give some shape to the either end of the label. And here they've taken it further, and they've done a embossed image in the background. They've done different layers. They've even sponged around the side here and used one of the dies. It looks like the rectangle die. They've stamped and cut out, fussy cut the goat to give it some depth. And again, they did some die cutting there and added a few embellishments around here. This one has some butterfly embellishments, that one has some gem embellishments. And the reason I could tell that they fussy cut that goat is if I look at the goat stamp, Way to Goat, which is a new stamp, none of those are grayed out, and there's nothing indicating that there's a die set that coordinates or a punch. So I know the only way they could have that stepped up goat is that they would have had to fussy cut it. So those are some ways that you can determine how things were done. And seeing the blends there, I know that they would have colored in this goat with the blend markers. So let's jump up a bit further. There's another new one, Sending Sunshine, and there's a roll with it. Tells you, that one is explaining to use your brayer, sponge brayer, to roll colors over it. So another technique shown there. And let's get to some beautiful other images here. New images, Field Journal, Queen's Anne Lace, Walk in the Woods there. And sometimes in the samples they do have little mentions of what was used. So it's showing that there were the antique corners used here. It's showing the playful alphabet dies were used there to put the words. And it's showing that the subtle embossing folder there, so that would have been used, looks like it was used over the letters. So you can get information from the samples of what you need if you wish to recreate them. Now this page here is one of the few pages in the catalog where the images are not shown at 100% because these stamps are about the size, they end up being about the size of the case. So those stamps would be about this big, those rectangular stamps, and there's no way they could put them all on here. They would have to use one page for probably two of them. So in this case, that is not full size, but they have a little spotlight there showing you the full size of the image so you can have a close-up look at what the image looks like, and you can see that is the full size of what the chicken wire would be. So it's just showing you one little section of that stamp. And as you can see here, that stamp covers, that's the dry brush stamp, which is a new one. It covers the entire background, so you can see that stamp covers quite a large image. And the same with this camouflage one, a new one here, it covers a large section there. And it also explains the background stamps. The best way to use them is on a Stamparatus, so you can get good pressure, and if they don't stamp clearly, you can simply stamp again. Just turn it over and stamp it several times. Another thing, if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up, we have the Angel policy, which is right there, which means that you can use the images on products that you're going to sell to make money if you'd like. They're okay with that. You just have to make sure that you put the copyright Stampin' Up image on the back of anything that you are selling. So it's right there, and this set, Make a Difference, has that stamp. So if you do want to make money on anything that you make with Stampin' Up images, you must do that to legally sell anything. If you're making it to give to friends, family, etc., you don't have to have the copyright on there, but I do that on all of my cards just to protect myself, because I do sell at craft markets. So now we're at the lovely embellishment side of things, the accessories and more section. And when it says take a sip, it's talking about using stamps, ink, and paper. That's all you really need to do things. You can step it up by using punches and dies and lots of embellishments. So that's what this section's all about. One thing they've changed from previous catalogs is the color collections. When they've listed them in the past, they've been for the paper only. Here, when they've listed the color collections, in this case it's the Subtles collection, has 10 different colors of stamps. There it says the A4 cardstock and the prices and how many sheets you get. If you want to order all of one color, you would use the code number listed underneath each of the colors. So if I wanted to order Balmy Blue and I wanted just 24 sheets of A4 Balmy Blue, I'd come over to Balmy Blue, and that's the code number I would use for my ordering. Then they also have the stamping pads. Those are the colors for the pads for each of the different, those are the product numbers for the different colors. The ink refills as well. There's the numbers if you want to have a refill. You can use the ink refill on your pads, or you can use it lots of different ways. Then it has the Stampin' Blend combo packs. Combos are 2 alcohol-based markers, light and dark. So they now come in sets of 2 only. And if it has the code number, you can purchase it for that color. So say for So Saffron, if I use that number, I would get a light So Saffron and a dark So Saffron. However, I'll bring it up closer for you to see. This one has a dash, and there's a dash there. So that means there is no Stampin' Blends available for Blushing Bride, and there is no Stampin' Blends available for Pear Pizzazz at the moment. So there aren't any available. I don't know if there will be in the future. Basics collection is your just basic colors, basic black, very vanilla, whisper white, and then these 3 here are Stampin' Blends. We had the bronze and ivory, and the color lifter used to be sold separately. Now the bronze and ivory are sold in a pack, and the color lifter is sold on its own. As you can see with these lines here, Stampin' Right markers, you can only get the basic black marker. You cannot get individuals of the other colors. And then here the cardstock, you cannot get cardstock for those 2 items there because those aren't cards, those are pens. So that's how you read this section here. If it has a little dash in it, it means you cannot purchase that item for that color. Now, if you want to get packs of colors, you go over the page, and here on the assortment of bundles, you can get entire bundles of colors. So if you want to get a bundle of the ink refills, you can get it in the 4 different neutral colors. If you purchase it into those 10 bottle packs, it's actually 10% cheaper than ordering each bottle separately. But you only get it in those 4 different color choices, collection choices. Here, the A4, the same thing. You get 20 sheets, which is 2 of each color, of the 10 colors in the 4 different colors. Or you can get the in colors. So you would, with the in colors, you'd get 4 sheets of each, and there's 5 of them. You can get the 12 by 12, again, same thing. Just check for the code number of what you want to order. Designer series paper, this is 6 by 6, and you can get them in all the color collections. And there's the in color 6 by 6 that you can get in the collections. The stamps, you can the ink pads, you can buy them individually like I showed on the previous page, or you can buy them in entire groups for 10% off. So the collections, you get 10 pads, and the in colors, you get 5 of the colors there. And here it shows the pens that you can purchase as well. Then we've got our storage. That came out previously, so that's not new, but it can stack, and it shows you all the different ways you can stack it to organize your table quite nicely. Then the embellishments, there's lots of different things that you can purchase, and this is different, shown differently than in previous catalogs. So what we have here, I'll bring it up close, coloring tools. The numbers, you need to find the matching picture for them. So here, the Stampin' Emboss powder, there's 4 different powders you can purchase, and they're shown here. Number 1. Number 2 is the heat tool. This is the tool you need to heat up your powders to do your embossing. So that is shown there. So if you see something in the picture you like there, number 12, the memento, it's not on this page. This page goes up to number 6. So on the next page, I can find number 12, the memento pad, and it has the refill. So find the item you like in the picture, or if you find it here, check the number to find it down in the picture so you know what you're purchasing. And here's the designer series paper. It always changes with a new catalog, so any designer series paper in previous catalogs is no longer available. It's always brand new in the new catalog, hence all the ends showing up on these pages. And so you see both sides. So the first is one side, and then the second is the back of that paper. So you don't get all these individual papers, you get a double-sided one. However, you get 2 sheets of each paper, and check the sizes, because this is a 12 by 12 here. It says 12 by 12. You get 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 double-sided papers. However, this one may look the same, but this is 6 by 6 paper. So for that one, you get double-sided. So there's more colored paper images here, but they are smaller than that. So make sure when you are ordering, check what size you're ordering to make sure you're getting the size you want. You can always cut it down, but if it's too small, you can't make it larger. So here with the cat one down there, that's number 8, which is listed up here. And it tells you at the bottom you can go to the website to actually look at a full-size pages. They actually have images showing the full-size page so you can see exactly what's on it, because here you can only see part of the dogs on that one. So if you look on that page, you would be able to see all of them if you want to see the full pages. And again, here's some more. The in colors come in 6 by 6 as well, and the World of Good. And you really need to go online and have a look, because like these worlds here, they're very shiny because that has the foil on it. If it's a specialty paper, it usually costs more, and it's specialty because it has something like foil on it. One side will have the foil and the opposite side will not, so you will not have foil on both sides of the paper. We got our trimmer that's been around for a little while, and all the accessories. And here we got our packaging and our paper basics. So if you're looking for things to store, you've got that there. Again, it tells you any items that are new. The foil sheets here, the only new one is the brass. The other colors are still there. Then we have our memories and more. That's great for scrapbooking, or if you want to do cards very quickly. There's cards and envelopes, and there's 6x6 sleeves to put in a 6x8 album. We no longer have a 12x12 album. And then these card sets can slot in there quite easily, or you can just put them onto the card backs to make quick and easy cards. The embellishments, lots of embellishments, some new, some have been around for a while. When you're buying them, check what size they are, because the images might not be the exact size of what you're getting. So just check on them, how many come in the pack, etc. Because they might show just one sheet and you think that's all you get. But if you look at it, you will find that you get more than one sheet of those, because you're getting quite a lot. Other ones, not so much. And some more embellishments. All these embellishment colors do coordinate with the products in the catalog. If you want to know, like these sequins here, Whale of Time sequins, so that's a new product there. It tells you in the description what colors coordinate with it. So here it's Flirty Flamingo, Just Jade, Pacific Point, Pool Party, and it also says it coordinates with the Whale of a Time suite and what page it's on. So you can refer back to the page if you want to find what it coordinates with. Same with the mason jar shakers here, the domes. It tells you that it coordinates with a certain suite, and that you need the punch for that. And just to show you, whoop, so those are the dog bones and the little hearts that I was mentioning earlier. Okay, so then the crafting tools that everybody, I recommend everybody have, and then we come into our ribbons and trims. So it shows you, again, this is one where you have to find the number and match it up with what you're looking at. So the numbers of these products here are over on this side. It does have a square that goes around it, so you can kind of see what goes with what. Some of the packs are combo packs, so they have two or more sets of ribbons that come in them, and the sizes might be a different length as well. So check in the details what size and what length they have, but it does tell you, has little dots to tell you what colors they coordinate with. So if you're wanting a coordinating project, again, you can coordinate everything perfectly. Adhesives, there's lots of different adhesives, and then we have our blocks, cleaners, etc. The adhesives, we've got some new ones here. They brought back the adhesive sheets, which I love. That's great for putting it on the back of die cuts so you can easily peel it off instead of having to put glue on all those tricky little bits. They've got two new things. They used to have a snail. They no longer have the snail. They have Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal Plus. There's a fabulous video by Stampin' Up that tells you all about that. Those are the products there. And they do have refills. These, the prices have gone up from before, but that's because they actually have more adhesive in the original packaging. So you've got that. There's also new foam adhesive sheets, which are fabulous because you can die cut them, and then if you want to have a little height to your images, you've already got the right height and you don't have to fiddle around with small dimensionals. And there's also cling adhesive. So if you have any older style stamps that you want to change to the new cling type so they will cling to the blocks easily, you can actually get strips that you can put onto the back to make them into cling stamps. And here with the blocks, there's actually, you can get one of each block in a bundle here, and it saves you 10% off buying each one separately. Stamparatus is still here with all the features, and then we come into our punches. So it shows all the different punches and the images that will punch out. It's not showing the actual punches, those are shown here, but these are the images that would come out at full size, so you can tell exactly what size you'll be getting if you purchase that punch. Here again, all the punches. These are showing you because they're what's called a builder punch, showing you all the different pieces that were to punch out. They punch out in one go and showing you how to put them together. So in the case of having a different color, you would punch different colored paper just on that section of the punch. So we have the different builder punches there. All of those have carried over from previous catalogs. Now here we have bundles. Bundles are great because, as I said, you do get the 10% off discount. In the month of June, there's actually a special bonus joining offer. So anybody that joins the Stampin' Up! Family, you get to choose one of the bundles free in addition to your starter kit. So depending on what country you're in, the starter kit has a different price. I discuss that on my website. You can go there to find out for the country that you're in. But it is showing that if you use the code that's in this section here, you will get the stamp set and the punch at that discounted price, 10% off over buying them separately. So it's showing you all of them, and it's showing off to the side samples using those punches and stamps. So here again, all the different ones, everything on these pages except for the heartfelt bundle are brand new products. This one, the Lovely You bundle, there is a Stampin' Up video that shows that punch is very interesting because there's 6 different styles that you can end up punching out. So you, depending on what size paper you put in, you can have 6 different widths and ends to the. And then here's our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines. We haven't had those for a little while. Stampin' Up! Has created their own. It is fabulous. It's lightweight. The ends fold up so it takes up less room. They come with all the plates that you need, so you get started straight away. Unfortunately, they're not available yet, not in the month of June, but they will be available in the near future, and I will be posting about that on my blog as soon as they are available. There's a symbol here, this one that says Mini. That's one of those little icons. So when you're looking through the catalog, if you see anything that says Mini, it means the product is sized so it can go through the Mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So the difference between these is the width of the dies or the embossing folder that can go through them. So look out for the Mini if you purchase the Mini and want things to fit that. So it shows all the different things, replacement items you can get. However, the tool here comes with everything listed there. I think it's, oh, no, it's listed underneath the description. So the only thing you do not get when you purchase the tool is the magnetic plate, which is, yeah, the magnetic plate doesn't come with the tool. All the other things do, except of course the adhesive sheet. And then here are the dies. So the dies have bundles as well. Again, if you're joining in the month of June, you could either choose a stamp and punch bundle, or you could choose one of these die bundles as an extra free gift. So these images here are not showing the dies, they're showing the images that would be cut out with the dies, which is very useful so you can see what it actually looks like. So these are the dies there, but this shows you what the paper would look like if you had used that specific die. So if you want the die on its own, use that code number, but if you want to get the discount with the die and the stamp set, use the code number shown there. And so there's some more of them. These, of course, are all new. And I love how they show you the samples right next to it so you can put the 2 and 2 together and see, oh, that's how that fits there. Previous catalogs, they had the dies in their own section, and it was kind of hard to relate. You can see, you know, how the dark blue here is that die there doing the outline of the sunflower, and this solid one there is you would stamp and then cut the background for the sunflower there. So you can see that there's different layering. And these are indicating that they can be used in the Mini. So these dies don't have anything too big, so they can use in the Mini die cutting machine. This one here, the image is too big to be used in the die cutting machine. So that's the banner blooms, the hand-drawn blooms bundle. That image is too big. So when you are ordering, just check for the little icons to see whether it will fit the machine that you have. And more bundles here, so lots to choose from. I'm loving the cat one. This one, it has all these different frames, so it might be a little deceptive when you look at these kind of things. The die doesn't cut out that looking thing. There's 3 different shape dies, so you have 3 different sizes that you end up getting. And the same here, there's 4 different sizes of that sort of rectangular one with the corners gone. And here's 3 different sizes. So it's showing it layered, showing the 3 different sizes that you'll get, because there's not enough room to put them all out individually. And the same with this one with the frames. So the ornate layers, you'll end up with lots. And it tells you in there, in the description, there's 8 dies to that set. So you can see the die here cuts that image out there. And some more. And now these don't have bundles. There might be stamp sets that coordinate, but you can no longer get them with the discounted bundle. Again, we see the mini sign there. So for example, this one, you would need to use the full-size Stamp and Emboss machine. It tells you which stamp set it coordinates with, so these images of the lipstick and the shoe, etc., will cut out images from the Dress to Impress stamp set with this all dressed up die set. But you cannot get this at a discounted price because that was introduced previously, and it's only when it's first introduced to the catalog as a bundle that you can get it with the discounted set. So if you see these dies, check what it coordinates with, and sometimes they coordinate with more than one set, and that way if you want the matching stamp set, you can go to the page indicated to find the stamp set to match with it. And so more dies. This is great if you don't have a lot of stamp sets with words. You can get the dies to cut out the words for you. And then we come to the embossing folders. So the embossing folders, again, there's some that fit in the full-size machine and some that fit in the mini machine. If you have a look at this page here, the ones marked mini, you actually get 2 embossing folders. So you get 2 narrow embossing folders, as shown right there. That's narrower than the full-size one. So for the mini ones, you actually get 2 embossing folders, but they are skinnier than the others. And it also tells you this one coordinates with a suite. These ones don't necessarily coordinate with any suites. And it explains the difference and when to use them. So some of them have a full-size matching background. Other ones, like this one here, that section, you only get part of the leaves throughout it, so it's not a solid background. You get different looks to it. And then we come to the host area. So if you want to earn any Stampin' Rewards, which allows you to use to get free items from the Stampin' Up products, you can host a party. When it reaches certain levels, you earn a percentage of the sales to be able to spend on your products. But there's also special host stamps that can only be purchased with Stampin' Rewards. So you would need to host a party or have a large enough order yourself to be able to get these sets. And they're always new. They change every catalog. So in this case, if we look at the summer days there, it shows the value of it. So that's valued at $44 New Zealand. However, if you host an event and you have earned Stampin' Rewards, which you earn here in New Zealand if you have sales over $300, you only have to use 26 Stampin' Rewards to get that for free. So you don't purchase that outright, you use your Stampin' Rewards to get that set. For the month of June, there's also a bonus for hosts. If you host an event and your sales are over $450, you get a bonus of $45 on top of your 10%. So that means if you had an event $450 event, you would actually get $90 that you could use to purchase things throughout the catalog, or you can use them to get these host sets. Now, if you want to join Stampin' Up, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there is a page that tells you the cost for the starter kit, which you always get a huge discount off your starter kit. You get to choose from the catalog things you want in your kit. This just shows you a sample, but you can choose anything you want throughout the catalog to come up to a certain value, but you pay far less for that. And it explains it on this page. So the country that you're in is where you should find out what the joining offer is. But as I said, for the month of June, you also get to choose a bundle, whether it's a stamp and punch or a stamp and die, absolutely free, included in your starter kit. Then we have our index, so it's alphabetical. You can look through and find the names of the stamp sets there. And then at the back, there's an accessory index. So if you're want to quickly find things, you can look in there. Like there, it mentions the rhinestones are on page 156. So you can look through there. There's also information, legal information about the trademarks, etc. And then just some more information about kicking it off, settling in, and spending a while. So today, I'm kicking off my catalog launch party, so you can settle in, watch all these videos, and spend a while with me crafting. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you again soon. Bye!